Hello. Beautiful. I think everything is good. Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? My name is Kayla Shivji. Let me take a drink real quick. I am really thrilled to be here. Really honored to be here. Um, there are some messages that are ready to come through. I have been working with a new guide. I say working with, I really have just made an introduction. This is a new and very powerful guide that has stepped forward recently for me to assist me in building some of these foundations that we need to take into this new earth paradigm that we have been establishing, that we have been asking for, that we have been praying for. And now it's time to take steps to truly embody this energy that is a part of establishing this new earth collective, right? So I'm just going to allow some messages to flow through me, and I hope that they serve you well. This is the time that I dedicate each week to come on and share the energy forecast for the week ahead. So what can we expect? What are we looking for? And this week I was guided not to use my cards, but just to allow source to flow through me and to share with you whatever is most needed. And so those are the intentions I've set, and that is what I'm here to do. So one of the biggest things that I have been realizing through working with this guide and working with the 5D energy and working with Jesus a little bit, especially in regards to my own personal healing and some reflection that I've been doing, is that this new earth that a lot of us have been talking about, the 5D, the collective awakening, whatever you want to look at it as, this shift in energy that has been happening over the past several years and has been building and accumulating for quite a long time is all part of this new paradigm that we're stepping into, this quantum leap, right? But the missing link that I think so many of us have been searching for is this link that is embodied. Taking not only this energy that exists around us and waiting for the new earth to suddenly appear before our eyes, but questioning, what does it mean to truly work within a new earth energy? What does it mean to step into a higher level of vibration? What does it mean to usher in a new paradigm? Because we're leaving a lot of old systems behind, but that means that it's time to embrace some new ones. And I know that what we are doing right now is we're creating these systems. We are the ones who are establishing new foundations for the new earth to come into the physical plane. And so this is the process of embodying the energy of your soul more fully, of following your soul's guidance, and having that faith and trust that where your soul leads you is ultimately for the highest good of you and for all. So this work that we're doing collectively of bringing in the new earth is really dependent on the work that we're also doing on ourselves, because as our consciousness shifts and expands, we are part of the collective, the human collective, and as our individual consciousness expands, the collective consciousness expands, and that is how it works. And so the more light that you embody, the more light that you bring through this vessel and anchor into the earth, is what is going to assist you in embodying the frequencies of New Earth. It's going to help you in all these transitions. So a lot of these transitions that we are seeing collectively through the school systems last year, through some of these government shifts, through some of these how do I phrase that? Just these callings to wake up, to see more of the truth, and to understand the systems that we're moving away from. These are all dependent on our willingness to see the truth of what was, and sometimes that's really uncomfortable. But in order for us to truly claim our power, we have to be willing to witness the truth of what we have been existing in. And so sometimes that means removing the blindfold and looking down and seeing that you're standing in a pile of shit, and then cleaning that out and working through that so that you can change what you have been standing in so that you can maybe take 3 steps over to the grassy area, right? And so ultimately, the message this week is for you to focus on this light and your ability to be a part of the change, and that this isn't something that has to feel like a huge burden, right? This is something that we get to share collectively. We're building spaces of community. We're working in collaboration with each other. And even if we don't have those foundations of community and collaboration built right now, understand that we're all working within this energy as spiritual channels, as people who are awakening, as people who just have love and hope in their heart. We are all working with this energy. And so you may see within this spiritual entrepreneur leadership arena that a lot of people are coming out with similar programs or similar workshops, or they have similar ideas. And that's because not that they're copying one another, but that source is bringing this down through us. And so when something needs to flow through, it's going to be sent through multiple people. This is the way that it works, right? Because it's not my burden alone to come and share these messages for humanity, but it is a gift that I get to be a part of. I'm part of this collective that is aiding in the awakening of the new earth energy. And I'm really so excited because it is coming more and more into fruition. We are shifting more and more of this yucky systems and the yucky energy. And for a minute, yes, it feels uncomfortable. It feels challenging. It's going to press our comfort, and it's going to require us to really have that dedication and that grit and that forward momentum. And when we are dedicated, even if it's slow moving, if we're sludging through that mud, it is still a beautiful, beautiful process of making progress towards embodying more of our truth, to embodying more of our light, to anchoring in these new communities and these new systems that we are ultimately going to be moving into full time. And so really the message for humanity today is, even though it feels like chaos, even though we're shifting through some of the mud and some of the shit, it is all working for our highest good. It is all coming together. Even if we can't fully clearly see that end line, that finish line, just know that we're getting there and we're moving closer and closer. And the message for this week that we're moving into, this the energy forecast, right? We are really stepping into this frequency of more, of being able to embody more of our light, which requires us to get honest about some of the things that we've been holding on to, such as trauma, such as old limiting beliefs, such as your parents' ways of operating and their patterns that they established unconsciously into your systems. And so looking at these, being willing to have awareness of what you have been existing in, seeing it and saying, wow, I fully clearly see that I've been operating in this pattern that doesn't serve me. And I'm willing to accept that I did this because I was not aware of this. But now that I'm aware, I can choose to take my power back, and I can say, thank you for showing me this truth. And I'm going to send it. I'm going to choose another path. I'm going to establish a new pattern, a pattern where I awaken to my truth and I embody my power, and I continue this march forward. And that is the message for humanity. Continue this march forward. Continue to do the work that you have been doing. For me, this has been almost like a pause this past week, where we've done a lot of work. We've shifted a lot of energy. Things have been really rapidly changing. Even if in our physical it looks the same, the energy has changed so much. We've all had an awakening of some sort. And this past week for me, it has felt as if it's, okay, take a breath, wait, what's next? Let me get my bearings, let me reflect on what has happened, and let me just observe. Let me be present with myself. Let me give myself that permission to just be instead of doing. And in this response of, okay, I'm observing myself, I'm willing to get honest with myself, I'm willing to be, and then also take that inspired action when it presents. It is an act of surrender, surrendering to the highest good, surrendering to the purpose that, through my purpose of aligning to my soul and sharing my truth, I'm supporting this collective purpose of bringing in more love, of anchoring in more light, of sharing more of the truth of everything, right? That this system that we were born into, these beliefs that we were told we had to hold and operate from, they are not the ultimate truth, and that we, the people, have the ability to shift and change that, and we get to move into a new paradigm where the systems are based on love and hope and truth and honesty, and integrity and all of these wonderful, beautiful things. And so this week I would really encourage you to reflect on what it means to anchor in more of your soul, more of your light. Reflect on what collective energies you would like to see within the world. Would you like to see more hope? Would you like to see more inspiration? Would you like to see more playfulness and joy? These are the energies that we want to consciously be shifting our awareness and our attention into, because when we look at all of the chaos that's happening right now and we get weighted down by it, we're giving more attention and more power to these paradigms that are trying to break and trying to shift. And not that they don't need our awareness, not that they don't need our attention, but don't prescribe to the idea that this is the truth and that this is all there is and that this is going to last forever. Look at these things that are happening, this chaos that's in the world right now, and say, I can see how this chaos, this shifting and this movement of nasty energy is serving the highest good, because when it comes up to the surface, we can see it and then we can choose a new path. So what is the new path that you're choosing this week? What path do you want to see for yourself? What path do you want to see for humanity? These are the energies that are going to be coming in even stronger and more frequently as the days go by. And I think that this week is going to be a large shift. So where the past week has been that contemplation and reflection and preparing, this week we're going to see the shift. You're going to be guided to take action. And this action may be scary. It will likely trigger your ego into questioning yourself, into questioning your beliefs and your values. But when you have this firm foundation of valuing your truth, of valuing your authentic connection to source, to spirit, to God, then there is nothing even your ego could prevent you from stepping into. This week, I'm actually opening Aligning with Soul. Aligning with Soul is a month-long group course. This is designed to be a hybrid between a group course and a membership. But basically, we are going to have weekly teachings, energy healings, meditations, journals, all the things to support you in aligning with your soul, of really, truly embodying your truth and feeling that confidence through this process of surrendering to the divine flow of the divine plan, of knowing that you don't have to be in control all the time, but that you can release the reins and trust that it's happening for your highest good. And not that you don't have charge or say or power, because you do. But this surrender is one that allows you to release the worry, release the restraints, release the binds that you put around yourself in order to keep yourself small and safe, and truly step into the authentic expression that we need right now in this time. So this is starting Wednesday, and I'm really excited to share all of these things with you. Please reach out if you have questions, because I'd love to have you in. This is $67 to join for the month of September. And if you like it and if you want to stay, you can continue as that founding member for just $47 a month. For the month of October, we are going to be looking at the energies of boundaries and protection, and how to really allow yourself to feel safe enough to set boundaries with your loved ones, as well as with anyone that needs boundaries set, right? And then in November, we're going to look at the energies of grace, and along with that energy of grace, there will be a little bit of gratitude as well. And this is probably not your traditional approach to any of these energies, even though I'm sure you hear these terms a lot. This is going to be a way for people who have trauma stored in their nervous system to align through these embodiment techniques and these multiple pathways of understanding so that not only your spirit can feel safe, but that your human can feel safe and surrendering and setting boundaries and practicing gratitude as well. And so I really hope that you'll join me. There is the link in my bio. It's KaylaShivji.com/aligning with soul. And I would absolutely love to have you. Right now, I am going to jump into my Facebook group and we are going to have a conversation. There's a lot of powerful energy coming up, and I'm just going to share what's on my heart and what the guides want to bring forward. So I hope you'll join me over in Spiritual Wayfinders, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.